waiting for the bus, seems like a good time to start this week's vlog and tell you what we're doing. Still in Mexico, sightseeing. I have started X's and O's by Amy Lee. This is a BIPOC author. It has yellow on the cover, and so far I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters in, but I'm having a pretty good time with it. I'm still a little bit concerned that Brie is going to do something to kind of throw the cat among the pigeons and make everything super exciting. But my entire weekend, I'm gonna go grocery shopping right now, but my entire weekend after that is just gonna be reading this book. And I am pretty sure, given the timer, I'm pretty sure we're going to get another prompt sometime tomorrow. Let's see how it ends up. While I am making my little midnight snacky snack of ramen noodles, I'm going to tell you how I'm doing with the X's and O's. I have this much left, which corresponds to about 110 pages, and I feel like I can get it done before midnight. But I also feel like I'm running against the clock. Brie hit us with a sabotage option earlier on today, in that you can use 500 GRC to buy some bonus points and attack a different team. So you can attack, the yellow team could attack, say, the green team or the purple team. And it is one set of 500 attack points per person. It's not a combined team thing. Me, Amy Leah, and some ramen. Gonna go to bed. We're gonna eat, we're gonna read, and we're going to hope, beyond hope, that I beat the clock. And whenever this prompt comes, I'm gonna be ready. So I woke up on Monday morning to slight chaos because we had the new prompt of Sao Paulo. And the idea for this, Brie has said this is the hardest prompt of the entire readathon, is that you have to find a book that has 3 or more people on the cover. So we're going with this. This is Love, Theoretically, by Ali Hazelwood. It has got 4 people on the cover, and it is the most incredibly Ali Hazelwood book. We have got a man who is 5,000 feet tall versus a woman who is the size of a grain of rice. This is Elise, this is Jack, and they are both working as physicists at MIT. She is a theoretical physicist and he is an experimental physicist. There are some clashes between the 2 branches of physics that they work in, but there are also some clashes between them personally, mainly because Elise also kind of moonlights as a fake girlfriend that guys will bring to like a family dinner or a wedding or some kind of an occasion where they just would like to have a +1 with them. And the last person that she was with, who was Greg, turns out to be Jack's younger brother, and he is now a little bit concerned that she's been leading Greg on for the entire time. And I'm very, very intrigued to see how that is going to go. I'm going to keep reading with this for the rest of the night. I'm going to hopefully finish it, if not tonight, by the middle of tomorrow, so that I can just take a look around Sao Paulo. It is rather late on Tuesday afternoon for me to be saying this at the first time, but I've got to Sao Paulo. I finished my audiobook of Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter earlier on at work, and I don't even remember if I told you that I was reading that, but that does have 3 people on the cover. It was a YA book. It's about a young girl called Liz, whose mother, who has passed away, gave her this massive love of rom-coms. And Liz now has this kind of idea that she and her life is going to be a rom-com. So when her childhood sweetheart, Michael, moves back from Texas to the little town that they grew up in, she's pretty much convinced that this is her sign, this is her way to go. And she's going to ask him to prom, or he's going to ask her to prom, and then they're going to have their grand gesture, magic, meet cute moment. So she enlists the help of her other childhood friend, Wes, who lives next door and who has basically tormented her for her entire life, to help get Michael to realize who Liz is. As you can imagine, Liz and Wes start to fall for each other, and it's super cute. There's so many references to rom-coms in this book, and I really, really enjoyed that. As a big rom-com connoisseur myself, it was really nice to see at the start of every single chapter there is a reference to a rom-com, or there is a quote from one of the rom-coms that you would know and love. As for Miss Hazelwood, I am on page 134, which is chapter 10. I just got on lunch from work. I'm going to sit on the couch and read this. I've got another book in my arsenal though. I've already finished Dawn and the Older Boy by Anne M. Martin, which is book 37, I think, in the Babysitters Club series. It's about Dawn, the alternate officer of the Babysitters Club, who goes on a couple of dates and starts having this infatuation with a guy called Travis, who is like 16. He's a couple of years older than her, and it's not really a relationship that I think that she should have been in. But it has got a really great discussion of what is a really dangerous age gap for somebody who is of that age, and should you listen to your friends a little bit more than what they're saying. A pretty standard Babysitter's Club book. I enjoyed it for what it was. And now we're going to keep going in Sao Paulo and take another look around. Why does this woman only drop shit when I am in the shower or asleep? So I've just come out of the shower and Brie has dropped our detour for the Sao Paulo leg. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is. All I know from the announcement is that it's going to have something to do with coffee. And if it is, live on a diet that is mainly coffee for the rest of the leg. I'm pretty sure I'm already halfway there. So let's take a look. Let us see together what we need to do.
Welcome to your next detour. On your way to Sao Paulo, we're going to be talking about Brazil's coffee exports. For your detour, you are going to be recommending a book based on a coffee drink. So what you're going to do is find a random coffee generator. I have one linked in the description of this video and on the Discord. You're going to generate a coffee drink and then you're going to recommend a book on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter that you think reminds you of that drink or someone that would order that drink. Good luck and don't stay at this detour too long because the route continues.
So I'm gonna go on to the coffee generator right now. We're gonna pick a little coffee together and then I'm gonna try and find a book that'll fit to it. This is gonna be so hard if I get something like really dark and really strong, because I don't read a lot of dark and strong books. I read a lot of light and fluffy. Let's see where we go. So I have got the spinner wheel set up here on my tablet beside me. I'm gonna press play. And it is telling me that I should get the Skittle. What the fuck is a Skittle? Okay, we need to do an extra detour from the detour to Google what the fuck a Skittle is. I have just Googled it. And it sounds like diabetes, but rolled into a cup. Let's read out what we have. Strawberries and cream frappuccino. No classic syrup. Add 2 pumps of vanilla syrup for a tall, 3 for a grande, and 4 for a venti. And add a half pump for a tall of raspberry syrup, 1 pump for a grande, and 1.5 for a venti. So we got what we wanted. We got our lovely little light book. But my God, I never want to put anything like that into my body. I never, ever want to drink that drink, but I have looked at my shelves and I have a suggestion. So, Skittles. Colorful. What's something else that's colorful? The rainbow. What is the Skittles branding? Taste the rainbow. What else is rainbowed? LGBT. LGBT books. Heartstopper. The other reason that I think this would fit really well is that it is a YA book, so it's really bright, it's really colorful, it's really fun. That is what Skittles are. If you eat too many Skittles, you have this kind of nauseous feeling in your stomach, but this gives you the same kind of feeling in your stomach, but in a happier way, in a good way, in a way that you're kind of excited and fizzing up to read the next book in the series. Nailed it. 200 points for yellow, straight in the bag. Again, we are in the bathroom because I have skin and I'm going to take care of it. This is the 8th day of the readathon. I want to say it's the 8th day of the readathon. And things are going kind of well. I finished my book To Get to Sao Paulo this morning, which was better than the movies. I finished one of my sightseeing books around lunchtime because it was only 160 pages. It was done in the older boys, so that was quite the quick fix. And like less than 5 minutes ago, just put the book down to come and actually start doing my skincare for the night. I finished Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Now, if you have read any other Ali Hazelwood book, congratulations. You have also read Love Theoretically. It's very formulaic of what she does, in a very kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it way, which is starting now to get a little bit samey for me. So I think we're gonna maybe have to say goodbye to Ali Hazelwood in this house. Which is sad because I do enjoy her writing style. I do enjoy her storytelling, but it is very samey. It's very formulaic. And I need something that's a little different. Tomorrow is the 9th of August. And on the sprint timer for Sao Paulo, the flight number was 908. Now, up until recently, all of the flight numbers have been 80 something, like 806 was when we got the prompt for the sabotage. But it's now 9:08, and that is our date format here in Europe. So I think we're going here. I think we're coming to this side of the Atlantic. And I'm pretty sure that Bree's probably going to drop it again when I fall asleep. And I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. All I know is that the hardest prompt is done. It is over. It is finished. Let's see what morning brings us. Let's see where we end up. I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhere on this side of the Atlantic. It could be something like a London. It could be something like a Paris. It could be something like, I don't know. It would be amazing if it was Berlin and I can just read in Berlin. But let's see where we end up. I am a little bit apprehensive about whether or not I should start a book. I like to end the day with reading, just like settling into bed for a half an hour, sometimes with a glass of water. I will miss it tonight because I'm apprehensive. I don't want to start anything new in case we come back tomorrow and it now doesn't fit. It's not going to work for the prompt. I can't use it to get to wherever it is that we're going to end up going to. I'm very scared and concerned to be in this situation, kids. And I don't know how we're going to get out of it. Let's see what morning brings. Good night. Look at this, I look like a human for once. I have brought my Kindle with me to work. Haven't opened it because I don't know what to open it to. I haven't picked out a book because I don't know what to pick. But I have got my audiobook ready to go. I haven't put my headphones in yet, but I have got my audiobook of Under the Hawthorn Tree by Marita Colin McKenna. It's not yellow, it's not by an author of colour, but it is translated. I managed to find an Irish language version of Under the Hawthorn Tree, which is one of my favourite Irish children's stories, and I am going to sneakily add in an extra maybe 240 points just by reading that alone. Also, I think where Bree is right now, it is like just gone 1 a.m. So don't think she's awake to do any shenanigans, so I should be safe by the time I get to my office. Let's see how today goes. I have a sneaking feeling that something's coming today. Something's coming today. I have got the feeling something's coming today, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I have a feeling we're going to be on this side of the Atlantic. Let's have your friend and mine, Berlin TV Tower, in the background as I tell you the updates for leg 4. I was correct. We are going to this side of the Atlantic. We're going to London. The prompt came as I was at work, and I spent about 40 minutes of my workday looking at my entire shelf because this is a prompt I don't think I'm going to be easy to fill. The prompt is a retelling because there are so many classic authors from the UK and you need to read a retelling of a classic story. Slight problem. I don't have a lot of retellings on my shelf. Not a lot in yellow, definitely not a lot translated, definitely not a lot by a BIPOC author. The only physical book that I can think of is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and that's not even on my Kindle, that is back in my house. So I had to think. And Bridget Jones's Diary by Helen Fielding is a reimagining, retelling, switch around of Pride and Prejudice. So that's my audiobook for the next couple of days, and we see where we go from there. Let's see if we can get Team Yellow a little bit closer to London with this already. Good morning. Who honestly cares what I am reading? Who gives a shit? 1989 Taylor Swift's version was just announced, but actually no, we kind of do care what I'm reading. So I picked up The Song of Achilles last night, and I read it on the tram on the way to work, and I am now about 30 pages in. This is so far out of my comfort zone. This is horrifically far out of my comfort zone, but it is a Greek retelling, and it's okay so far. I mean, this is my first Greek retelling, and I was never really an ancient Greek girly, I was an ancient Egypt girly. So we're making the best of it. Thank you. We're making the best of it. We're really giving it our best shot. But this, I think, is going to have to be a sightseeing book, because I'm not going to finish this in any way today. I'm also going to use Bridget Jones's Diary as my traveling book, and if I get that audiobook finished at work today, which is likely because I only have like 3 hours or so left, I'm going to start Savage Her Reply by Deirdre Sullivan, which I know I mentioned in the last vlog. I said that I was reading it, but
I didn't actually get to it. But it does fit in here so well. I feel like I can't leave it out. I didn't speak to you at all after getting to work yesterday, mainly because after work, a couple of friends and I went out for some drinks and some food. And on the bus home, I made an executive decision, which was to DNF Song of Achilles. I wasn't reaching for it on the bus home. I realized I'd gotten about halfway before I even realized, hey, you've got a book in your hands. Maybe you want to open it, perhaps. But I did have a think. I had one other book that might do. I had one other book that might work, and that was by Jasmine Guillory. It's the second book of the Meant to Be series. Yes, it's not yellow, I know, but it is an author of color, so it will give me 50 points there. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Witchlings by Clara A. Ortega. That is Jess from TheHexedLibrary. That is one of her host favorites, so it's going to net me an extra 50 GRC. And right now, GRC is at a bit of a premium for Aoife. I've been doing a lot of planing. I've been doing a little bit of like taking the bus, but I'm doing a lot of flying recently, and it's starting to stack up. This is going to tide me over until I get to start Face Off at 2 a.m. Saturday morning. That is probably going to be me being asleep time, but as soon as I wake up on Saturday morning, I'm straight into it. I know that Victoria has got some sprints already starting at 10 a.m. my time. I'm going to try and hop on with her and get a couple of books read for Face Off Weekend. We got the rules for Face Off Weekend yesterday, and that is that there are, I think, 7 flags of countries from the EU. Thankfully, Ireland is included, because I think Brie knew that if it wasn't, I would genuinely wreak havoc upon this readathon. And you have to read a book. You spin a wheel, like we did with the coffee. You spin a wheel, and whatever country's flag you land on, the book has to feature all of the colors on that flag. So if this was the German flag, it would have to have black and red and yellow on it, which this book can kind of fit in. So this is the weekend that we want to read something quick. This is the weekend that we want to read something short. This is a weekend that we really want to churn them out, especially for Team Yellow, because I have found out something. I had a chat with Brie yesterday, and I just casually asked her how things were going and how we were doing and if there was anything that we needed to know, and she said, girly pop, you guys have been hit by quite a few sabotages by one team in particular. And she told me who that team was, and it's the blue team. So, yellow team, we need to keep that in mind for the future. If we need to use that against them, we can and we will, because we are not going to sit down and just take this lightly. So, the next time that you will see me, it will be the end of the Face Off weekend. I will be vlogging my whole way through the weekend. We will be having quite a lot of chaos. We'll be having quite a lot of fun together. I will be doing sprints on Sunday at about 6 o'clock in the evening, my time. And let's see how we do over Face Off weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.